Good morning, everyone. Welcome into our Saturday morning coaches show. I'm Don Julian. We've got quite a packed show today. We've got Clark Cipoletta to talk about Wildcats basketball. We've got Alexi Upton is going to be talking about Wildcats soccer, and we've got a special treat this morning. We've got 3 Ladycat seniors coming in here today after they celebrated senior night last night. And Breasia Ivory, Delaney Miles, and also Nyla Lindley coming on to the show today, and we really look forward to talking to them. We'll start with Coach Cipoletta, but before we do that, we always want to quickly brush by the other sports that are going on. Ladycat soccer open district play last night at Longview, a 5-3 loss. They were tied 2-2 at the half, and then Longview outscored them in that second half. This week at Mount Pleasant on Tuesday, and then hosting Texas High on Friday. Ladycat softball will have 2 scrimmages coming up this week. They will be at Gilmer on Tuesday and then at McKinney North on Friday. So those are the first scrimmages for the Ladycat softball team. Ladycat powerlifters went to Paris on Thursday. And the Wildcats are lifting at Paris today, and they will have a meet coming up Thursday at Royce City. Wildcats tennis on Friday will be going to a tournament in Kilgore, and Wildcats golf will be in action this week. They'll be playing this coming Friday and Saturday at the Rockwall Golf and Athletic Club, and that will be a regional preview. So that's all of that stuff, and now we'll go ahead and dive into the basketball conversation with Coach Clark Cipoletta. And Coach, a big win last night for the Wildcats, a team that had that buzzer beater that it looked like you guys have kind of put that behind you and just said, hey, move on. But a tremendous win last night, 62-44. Sounds like the Wildcats played very, very well.
They did. I thought it was probably our best outing of the season. We just played with such toughness and grit and really just took pride on both ends of the floor and executed on both ends of the floor. And, when we do that, we're hard to beat. So just once again, just proud of our guys executing the game plan and playing together. It was a big win.
You couldn't have scripted it any better. You gave them 6 points, I think, in both the first and the second quarter, so they only have 12 at the half. And you guys score 18 and 17, so 35-12. So that, you're on a roll then.
Right, and, going into it, they're very athletic, very strong, very physical basketball players. So we know we had to match that intensity and toughness on the defensive end, and we got to kind of hold our own ground and make it tough for them to score. I thought the first time when we played them, we were a little soft on the ball, soft in the post, and really gave them confidence early. And then we saw what that resulted in. So we knew right from the get-go we have to bring the fight to them, per se. We got to be the more physical team and just get up in them a little bit more and make it more challenging for them to get going. And just hats off to all 5 that were on the floor all night because and they played with a lot of toughness in doing that.
Big statistic, last time we played Longview, 9 threes. Mm-hmm. How was the three-point defense against the Lobos?
We knew, kind of going in, we underestimated them in shooting the ball, and we kind of sagged off and tried to help in different ways. And I thought I did a poor job scouting them the first time. They were a team that changed a lot throughout the course of the season. They weren't the same team 2 weeks ago before that because they added 6 or 7 players, so we really didn't know a lot about the guys who came from football, and they surprised us. But this time we weren't a surprise because we knew what they were capable of doing, and so that was a big emphasis of ours, just getting back to the screens quick, getting out to shooters, and once again just making them earn everything. Don't give them that window of confidence where a 30% three-point shooter turns into a 50% three-point shooter because of the amount of confidence you give them. So we just wanted them to have to earn everything, and I thought we did a good job of that last night.
All right. And with the Longview team, they really kind of remade themselves kind of in mid-season. They got a tremendous influx of football players. I think their middle linebacker plays, one of their big guys, as big as they go, but they're very, very athletic, so they can leap. But they did have trouble with our size last night, looked like.
They did. We knew going in that they switched all ball screens, so we already kind of had the size advantage on their bigs, but when they switch off and put a guard on Justin Akordrick, that's going to pose a big problem. So we try to run some actions that utilized that and took advantage of it, and man, our team did a great job of just getting the ball inside, and we got it in there early, and our bigs went straight to work. I thought the first time when our bigs caught it out here in Sulphur Springs, they played with it too much. They would put it on the ground and dribble and allow some of those guys to just reach in and poke out of the ball, and yesterday they just went straight to work when they caught it. So that was a big game changer, but it takes all five. I mean, our guards did such a great job of executing the actions to get them the ball, throwing it to where they were open. That's a hard thing to do, and just hats off to us executing.
Cordrick Turner continues just to have a real good season. I kind of wondered, coming up from the sub-varsity, and he had been with the varsity some, but really hadn't played, I don't think, last year. But he just continues to show that he's ready to make the step up to this level, and had a big 18 for you last night.
He did. He's such a talented kid. It's going to be great. A great basketball player. And he's really showed us this year, he can really score. My biggest thing to him yesterday, which I was more proud of him, was his defense. I thought his defense the last couple of games, he was just kind of slow getting out there and didn't bring, quite the attention to detail we wanted him to do as a sophomore. And we really tried to refocus him on that. And I think that just helped his offense as well. And, man, he was a force. They started off the game with their big kid on Cordrick, and then Justin had like a quick 6 points, and then they switched the matchup, and then we went back to Cordrick, and then he had a quick 10. So it's a blessing that we have two bigs that can score it so well, on either block, and not many teams have two bigs to stop that. So once again, we're just trying to take advantage of that and just find ways to win games.
Of course, Boo Wilkerson had another solid game for you. I know Hare had 10 points, so we're talking about big guys, but Boo chips in with 12, so you've got some good help there.
I did, and Boo just played solid, and he had to guard that 5-star receiver all night, who's a tremendous basketball player, and just was tough on the ball, and man, made some tough plays. Him and Parker Wisenhunt had, I thought, his best game of the year. He had 8 points, got the start for us, and got a couple of open court steals, and man, he might be the best cutter I've ever coached. He cuts so fast, and he finishes at the rim so well. Lamajic Johnson was another one, even though he didn't score, and he just controlled the game. They really locked in and made it hard for him to get to the rim, and he just constantly made plays all night too. So those are some guys we're proud of. We had a lot of guys come off the bench, Arrington, Caleb, Malik, Bull, some of those guys that just chipped in. They did their role and helped us get the win.
A casual fan, they go right to the box score. How many points did you score? But the coach knows that there's a lot of things you can do to help win that don't always show up in the box score.
Right, and we call it the 95% rule. You have the ball in your hands about 5% of the game if you're lucky. So how are you impacting winning the other 95%? And we have a lot of kids who can impact winning, during that 95% rule. So, just once again accepting their roles and just doing the things it takes to win, trying to make winning plays and, having each other's back out there on the court and just making the right play. I said our best defense tonight is going to be our offense. If we get out there and execute and take good shots, we're able to set our defense up, and it's going to be hard to score against us. And it takes 5 people to do that. So, like you said, those things don't show up in a box score, but they help winning.
Big game coming up. Mount Pleasant, they haven't lost this year. They're undefeated, not only for district play, but also for the entire season. Just incredible. So we get them. We're 2 games behind them in the schedule. I guess if we had a little bit of help along the way, you could work yourself into first place. But you kind of solidified second place anyway last night. You got a game and a half now on Longview and going down the stretch.
Yeah, that was a big win. That just helps with playoff matchups and runs, and we're just worried about Tuesday if somebody ends up beating Mount Pleasant, or if that happens. Kudos to it, but we can control what we can control, and we know it's a good matchup, and we're excited about the matchup. I think we really believe we're playing our best basketball right now. I think we're on a 5-game win streak, so I think we're headed in the right direction. I've had teams, in the past, we peak really early and then we kind of fall back down and then we try to re-peak, where I think this team's slowly climbing, and we're still climbing. So we're looking forward to it, these big matchups, and on into the playoffs as well.
I know it was on the home court, but the players obviously showed that they could play right with Mount Pleasant.
Right.
Took a 3-point shot, with a tie ball game right at the end. Looked like it was headed to overtime. Kid hit one from the corner. But, you can play right with those guys.
Yeah, I think, we really feel like we could play with anybody in the state on any given night. It's one of those things where I think our kids are always going to be prepared enough. They're tough enough where, they can go out there and battle. And like you said, it was a great game, the first game. We just happened to end up on the wrong side of it, and, hopefully this time it's a little different.
All right. Seniors coming up on the show here. You've got several, and you'll be honoring them coming up this coming Friday with Texas High coming in.
Yeah, it's such a special group, every time we play these last couple of games, it's kind of hit me like I don't have long with these guys. So, I make sure to give them a hug before the game and, just tell them how much I appreciate them. And they're just such a piece of my life where all of the kids that have come through have been. So I'm just so blessed to have such wonderful kids, with the ability to coach them. And, they work their butt off every day, and I know some play more than others, and but they really just sacrifice, a lot of time and a lot of effort and energy to something bigger than themselves. And I'll always be grateful, for that and for them and for who they are. So I got 4 guys that are going to do some amazing things in this world, moving forward. So that's the big key.
All right, Coach. Appreciate it today. Appreciate your time. I know practice awaits, and a big Mount Pleasant game coming up, and that'll be on Tuesday. And a big win last night. Again, the Wildcats beat Longview 62-44. Wildcats, if I can find it here, 8-2 now in district play. You mentioned a 5-game win streak and 15-8 for the season. So you've got your team kind of beginning to make things happen late in the season. That's the way you want it.
That is just we're trying to get better each day. We talk about the 1% rule. Just climb a little bit better, get better today, and tomorrow will take care of itself. And it's something I believe, they believe, and we'll just keep trying to execute and do.
Very good, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, that's Coach Clark Cipoletta talking about Wildcats basketball. We'll have more coming your way right after this break. And back here on the Saturday morning coaches show, and now we've got Alexi Upton. He's the Wildcat soccer coach. You know that. You've seen him on the coaches show before. And the open district play last night, Alexi, looked like a pretty good crowd out there at the Prim. Parking lot was full of people. I was just amazed when I drove up. Of course, it was the end of the game, so everybody was still hanging in there. Actually, it was about halfway through. I had a chance to get from the gym, and I was playing 3 games now. He kind of, I guess, backs things up a little bit, and got to see almost the entire second half of your game. Looked like an extremely fast and very defensive-minded Longview team, and they got the better of you 1-0.
Yeah, they're a group of athletes. They're a solid team. They spent the past 4 years at 6A. I think they went first, second. So they were top 2 in all of their 4 years at 6A. So, and then they came down to 5A, and they're just picking up where they left off. They're a really good group. They're coached really well. Their coach has been there for 15, 20 years. He's been there for a long time. So they're coached really well. They're organized really well, and they don't have a weak link. They don't have a bad player or anything like that. So, the guys knew that. We scouted them going in, and we knew exactly what they had and didn't have, and they just got a goal on us in the first half, and then kind of just played smart the rest of the game and just kind of saw it out. And our guys struggled, and we didn't do things on our end that we needed to do. But.
It's kind of a weird goal. It looked like one your keeper had or was trying to get, and it just kind of got knocked loose and in the net.
Yeah, it seems like he kind of just maybe just slipped it out of his hands a little bit. It wasn't anything crazy, but that's goal's goal, and we just kind of struggled to help him out. We kind of struggled to possess the ball. There was a lot of turnovers in the game. We didn't do a really good job of keeping the ball that well. So, it's hard when you don't keep the ball. It's hard to win games. So,
yeah.
Yep.
It's a big part of it. I've always been impressed with the Wildcats' speed, but I thought Longview had every bit as much speed as that was really a track meet going back and forth from one end to the other. Those teams were flying around.
Yeah, they matched us athletically really well. I thought they were just as fast as us, just as skilled as us, just as talented as us, if not even more. So they were really good all around the field, and like you said, they were very athletic. Even their little guys were super fast. Even their bigger, kind of, chunkier guys were, just as athletic. So, they were a good group, and, we'll have a chance to get at them again in the second round of district, so
yeah.
We're going to be excited for that.
Team, I guess, kind of disappointed. You want to start out well in district play, and you hate to start out 0-1, but sometimes maybe a loss is kind of a course correction for a team, and they can kind of go on from there.
Absolutely. I think, I think we're flying a little high after, our success we've had in the past, 4 or 5 weeks. We were 9-4-1. We just won a tournament. First tournament we won in 10+ years. So our guys are flying high, thinking, we got this, and then they kind of got grounded a little bit. Hey, slow your roll. You got to work for everything. They don't just hand out district championships. You got to go take it. So it was really good for us. I think we needed that a lot, and hopefully our guys recognize that and build from that.
Yeah, it's just everything, the intensity and everything, trying to adapt to that, to go from tournaments and kind of you want to win those things, but it's nothing like district play. You can just the electricity and everything and the intensity of the way the teams play. And it doesn't get any rough. When you've got Mount Pleasant in the district, you've got to face those guys. I think the first thing you told me when I saw you and met you for the first time was, we're going to be able to play with Mount Pleasant.
Yep.
We're going to play with those guys. And it is a big goal for you. And,
yep.
and they don't make it easy. They just, every year they roll out a good team.
I've told my kids that they get to shave my head if we can beat Mount Pleasant. Because according to your stats, we haven't beat them in
We've
about...
got that on tape
Yeah.
now.
We haven't beat them in about 16, 17 years or something like that. So it's been a long time. So
yeah.
I feel like we've gotten closer and closer every year we've been here. My first year we took them into overtime and lost in the PK shootout, and then I had a bad second game. My second year last year we went all the way to the end and gave a goal up in the last 5 minutes, and then lost a really bad one. So it's kind of the recurring theme. It seems like we're getting just a little closer and a little closer. So. Hopefully that's the plan. Hopefully we can take them and get after them. Thankfully we have it at our home first, and so we'll see what we can do on Tuesday.
Yeah, your fellow soccer coaches put a poll together. They thought Longview was number 8 in the region.
Okay.
Well, Mount Pleasant is number 2 in the region. So,
yeah.
But a lot of that tradition. Just every year they're going to be solid.
Yeah, they've had a poor start this year, but they're just a team that you never write out. Because they're just so talented, they're so deep, they play so well together. They have a system that they've done for 15, 20 years, and they haven't changed it at all. So they'll be good, and we just have to do our best, and we just have to work harder. We just got to keep possession of the ball better and work harder.
And they've almost had a coach with the same last name like forever.
For about 40 years.
Father was there for a long time. Son comes in and don't miss a beat. He's a very laid-back character. I enjoy talking to him, but it doesn't seem like anything phases him. Now, he may be different when the ball, when between the white lines out there, but, the coaches get kind of involved with that kind of stuff. But he seems like kind of a, laid-back coach and everything.
Yeah, Jason Mayfield's a good guy. Mount Pleasant, like I said, they just ran well. They don't make mistakes. They're a solid group. And we're just going to have to try to do our best to just, pressure them and work hard and just redeem ourselves from last night.
Yeah, most of the time you worry about, when you lose your first game, you don't want it to kind of linger and have the players have that in their head, and one loss becomes 2 losses and all that. But that may help because, you just say the words Mount Pleasant, and all the players, I'm sure,
get fired up.
You have their interest then, and they know that that game's over, and now we got to prepare for these big guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that word just gets spit out, and everybody gets fired up for it. So we just got to do our best, like I said, to just go get after them. And that's all we can really do. So excited. I'm ready for Tuesday to roll around. It was unfortunate that we didn't start the district the way we wanted to last night, but we're gonna go get after it on Tuesday.
All right, very good. Yeah, one loss in the district, it doesn't define the whole season or everything. It's not, again, it's not a sprint. This is a marathon.
It's definitely
a long race, and so you just, you play them one at a time.
Yep, yes sir. That's all we're gonna do. We're gonna just go out there one at a time and just try our best. And I think we've shown in the start of the year that we have the quality to go win games and to go take care of business. So that that quality is not going to go away. So we just got to go fix the things that we can fix and then go get after it on Tuesday.
You've had, I guess this is your third team, right? Wildcats. How do they match up with other teams you've had? Is this a good group that you've had?
Yeah, I think this is a really good group in terms of we keep the ball really well. Yeah, I say that and then we didn't do it last night. But we keep the ball really well. Where I think we're just more skilled. I think every year we've gotten just more skilled, more talented. We've kept the ball better. It just seems like we've slowly grown in my 3 years here, and we've just got more talented. My first year it was kind of like, let's be scrappy, let's try to get wins however we can get it. My second year was we were really physical, let's try to out-physical people and press them and try to win games that way. And then this year it's like, hey, I think we're the all-around package. Let's try to just straight up beat people. So I think we've done a better job of just, slowly getting our talent better and better. So this is the year. It's a great year for us, and like I said, it didn't start too hot, but we can always go get it back. So.
It seems to me, that you've always got them playing very, very well at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that you don't want them peaking, like in the final game of the Terrell tournament. You want them to peak, right there as you're preparing for that first playoff game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want to play in good regardless. I like to see that we win tournaments. That's great for the kids, and that was a special moment for them, and they're always gonna, pass that down to younger kids. Hey, remember when we won that? So, that's special for them. But like you said, yeah, you want to be striding towards the end, and hopefully we can do that, and hopefully, like I said, we'll do our best to rebound on Tuesday, and then go from there in district. So.
All right. Well, basketball is beginning to hit the playoffs and all that. It's getting kind of late in basketball season, and so soccer just getting started, and so we'll have a lot more opportunities to talk to you and get Javier on as well.
Yes, sir.
I know he's had a little illness, and glad to see him, as I said, prowling the sideline. The coaches always prowl. That's a good word for it, but it was good to see him.
We pace.
Pace the sideline. Last Monday as they played Spring Hill, and so we've had an opportunity to do a couple of their games because he was smart enough to schedule them on Monday, and when there was nothing else going on, so I had a good opportunity to see them, and I've seen your team several times, and I'm very impressed with those guys, and I know they've got it in them to have a real nice season. Coach, thank you very much for your time today.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it, guys.
That's Alexi Upton, the Wildcats soccer coach, and as he gets ready for a big week, again, that includes Mount Pleasant, and then a trip to Texas High. Oh, I wanted to ask you about that. Is Jesus still around?
Jesus De Leon. Former Sulphur Springs guy. He's still around. They got a real big loss last night, so they're 0-1 to start district as well. But, we're excited. We always like to go to T-High and see him. So.
Yeah, veteran coach, he'll dig into that bag and use something, again, that was good 20 years ago and still working right now.
He's a funny guy.
I always like AC.
Yeah,
I guarantee I did. He could spin some good stories.
Yeah.
I enjoyed working with him, and wish him the best when he's not playing us.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yep.
All right, Coach, that's the week coming up, and now we'll have our Ladycat seniors, basketball seniors, coming on, and we'll talk with them right after this break. And we have three of our, actually there are three, and we've got the three Ladycat seniors from the basketball team, all honored last night. Their families were there, and fans were there to see them. It was a big, big night for these seniors, and I know it kind of creeps up on you. You see it happen to other kids, and then the next thing you know, they're handing you the flowers and those other things that you guys get. And we have Nyla Lindley, also Breasia Ivory, and Delaney Miles. And kind of seen these girls kind of move into the varsity program. I think Nyla was even on the roster when she was a freshman. I think they added her. I don't know that you got to play very much, Nyla, but you were on there. And then, of course, you moved in. You had those 4 wonderful seniors that you played with as the only underclassmen. And then the last couple of years, you know, you maybe expected a lot more out of you. And Breasia Ivory, we've seen her come up through the underclass program. I remember her as the girl that could dribble the ball, because everybody knew, get that ball to Bree and she would dribble. And one day game she got hurt, and the Ladycats, I think one time, got over midcourt in the first half. They needed their dribbler, and so anyway, she's always been that, and she's expanded her game and doing a lot of good things for the Ladycats. Delaney Miles too, we've been watching her for years. She was always a go-to scorer for the JV team. They always knew if they needed some points, pump that ball inside to Delaney, and she would put it in there. She continues to do that for the Ladycats. Especially this year has been a big varsity year. I think she played some in tournaments and joined the varsity also last year some. So all of these young ladies we watched develop. Nyla, what's your favorite sport? You play a lot. You play volleyball, you play softball,
I don't really
basketball.
have a favorite.
Don't have a favorite, just whatever's in season. Huh?
Yeah,
What do you think you're best at? You know?
probably softball.
You're an excellent softball player, there's no doubt about it. Do you run track?
I used to, I don't know more.
I heard you were the fastest girl in the 7th grade.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
You don't remember that?
Bree's probably a little faster.
One thing I'm very impressed with you this year is as a rebounder. What's the key to being a good rebounder in your opinion?
You got to be tough, because
It is rough in there, isn't it?
girls are strong under the goal, so if you just go in strong, you'll get it.
And they sure try to grab it away from you when you rebound it too.
They do.
But that's tough work. That is really tough work. And you know, and we were talking with Coach Cipoletta a lot of times. Well, I know you struggle with your offensive game a little bit last night. You normally put the ball in the hole a little bit better, but you do so many other things, and especially that rebounding. That's very, very important.
If you can't score, then something else has got to step its game up. So if I can't get in the hole, I definitely got to grab some rebounds.
What do you think about this tri-championship, part of a district championship you girls won last night?
Big. We needed that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a big deal. I don't know at the first of the year that many people had us considered to be a part of that.
Oh yeah, most definitely. They always look down on us, so we had to show, we had to prove to them that we can make it, that we're just as good.
Well, let's talk to Breasia Ivory a little bit. I'll ask you the same question. What's your favorite sport? You play a lot of different things.
It's track.
Track.
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of from the Sadavia Porter role.
Yeah.
Well, you're an incredible athlete. What do you do on the track?
I'm in the 4x1. I do long jump, the 100, and the 4x2.
Oh, okay. So a lot of the sprint races
Yeah.
and then some of the jumping stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're a jumping jack out there. We can see that on the court. And the thing that impresses me so much about you this year is you seem to be concentrating on the things that you do so well to help the team.
Yeah.
And you stay away from those things, you know, maybe like outside shooting and some of that other, even though you made a 3 last night. I can't forget that, but you know, your speed, that's a
Yeah,
big
that's what I
element.
have to use is my speed, because that will help me is my speed to get like open layups and all that. So.
And the best thing is you've turned into such a good finisher. Used to, in years past, you might drive in, you might not make that layup,
Yeah.
but you make it now.
Yeah. A lot of practice into that one.
Your defense is important to you. You got those quick hands.
Yeah, oh yeah, defense. That's probably my big thing in basketball is defense. 'Cause offense,
I
we're
call you
struggling on that
chaos.
one.
I call you chaos out there because you do cause chaos. And that's a good thing, to be a disruptor in there. And so what do you think about, this championship and your senior year and all that?
I'm just glad I got to finish being at first with volleyball and basketball. So going out strong for my senior year.
Yeah. You play softball or?
Not this year.
I know you have in the past.
Yeah, I have.
You're going to concentrate more on track, I guess? All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to talk to you, and we will have a few more questions perhaps. And we'll talk to Delaney Miles. Delaney, again, Coach was telling me earlier this year that she was so proud of you because that you do a lot of the hard things on the court, the screen setting, the rebounding, the defense, and that sort of thing. Again, the kind of thing that the casual fan will not necessarily see in the box score. That's important to you, I guess.
Yeah, well, I don't know, sometimes the screens, they like to call them, like, when we roll and stuff. But, yeah, my shots, like, sometimes they don't go in like Nala's, so then defense gotta be there, so.
Yeah, it seemed like the team, all three of you girls, it seemed like, defense for Coach Tisdale this year has been a big emphasis, and you guys have really kind of seized that to play some really good defense this year.
Yeah.
Defense is like our passion. That's really all we focus on. Because if they can't score, we can't lose.
Yeah, that's our go-to.
That's our team motto.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, if your shots are not falling and all that, if you're playing good defense, you're right in the game.
Yeah.
You still got a chance to be in the game, even if the offense is struggling a little bit, if you play that good defense. And Delaney, you must have been really pestering those girls inside last night. I noticed one girl got so frustrated with you. The official must not have seen it because that girl pushed you in the back and pushed you forward for about 5 yards. And I figured she had to be really frustrated with whatever. I'm sure you were just being tough on the boards.
Yeah.
No comment, huh? But anyway, yeah, I saw that. But the official did not call that one, but I guess it was away from the ball or something. Who knows? But for some reason that didn't get called. Let's take one more break, and we'll be back to wrap it up with these young ladies right after this. And back here on Saturday Morning Coaches Show, Ladycat seniors honored last night, Nyla Lindley, also Breasia Ivory, and Delaney Miles. Nyla, what are your plans for your future?
I'm going to Tuskegee University and major in nursing.
Wow, okay. What will you study there?
Probably biology.
All right, very good. And of course, you would welcome some kind of scholarship offer. Have you had any interest in that? Or
Softball.
Softball? People contacting you about that?
Yes, sir.
Well, they ought to. You're looking forward to, I know you've got basketball season, you've got, there's definitely some basketball to be played, but, so let's not dwell on softball too much. And it's kind of like volleyball. You guys had to finish volleyball before you moved into basketball.
Yes.
So very good. Bree, I heard you last night, Prairie View?
Yeah.
And what will you study there?
To be an attorney in the criminal justice field. So, yeah. I'm going to do that.
Are you getting any track interest or?
I got one from the Navy, but I'm probably not going to go up there. But I can be a walk-on for Prairie View and track, so I might just do that.
Yeah. We sent some girls, it seemed like a basketball player years ago, maybe a softball player a couple of years ago too. But we ended up at Prairie View, I believe. So we've had some interest in that school from the past. Delaney, do you know where you're going, what you're going to study, or?
I don't know where I want to go yet, but I want to be a chiropractor.
Oh, wow, okay. That's an interesting choice. Help people out, huh? All right. Well, thank you all very much. We didn't really get too much into the game last night. It was kind of just took care of business, you girls did. 59-38 over Longview. They only had 5 points in the first half. Now that's that defense we were talking about.
Yep.
They made an early three and then had one single basket in the second quarter. Had 5 points at the half. When you're ahead 27-5, things look pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when we played them, it was 12-12. But we came out slow because we played Hallsville
The day
the
before.
before. So it was just, our mind was like,
We had a
not
long
there.
bus ride.
It was just too much.
Was there ever any concern when those threes started raining from the sky?
I just knew right when that happened, I said, oh, they're woke. Like, they're ready now, but it's like too late to be ready. So I was like, I didn't know what to do after that.
It kind of scared me a little bit, but we did what needed to be
It
done.
seemed like Coach Tisdale called timeout, and then the next thing you know, you look up and you're back up to 20-point lead. So it
Yeah.
kind of solidified things. And even as many as they hit, they never did. I don't think they ever got closer than 16 points. So it was just, one of those deals where it was a little bit too late. They did have 9 threes, which was pretty amazing. One girl had 7, one of their seniors. But again, that. And we had quite a few threes, and like we reined in a few. I don't know what it is with Addison Wall, but with her in the third quarter, I looked at the last game. She had 12 points. She scored 4 threes. They were all in the third quarter, and then last night she had 2. So she likes that third quarter. So
Yeah,
but
that's the
we
way
hit
to.
some threes.
Yeah.
So anyway, a really good job. I don't know what the approach will be. I'm sure Coach Tisdale may give y'all a warm-up game. I don't know if y'all have heard anything about any kind of possibility. She's still probably kind of putting a plan together.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be quite a while until you guys play.
2 weeks.
It's going to be 2 weeks. It'll be somewhere around February the 11th through the 13th. That's a Thursday through a Saturday, depending on if a team wants to play you on Thursday or Friday or whatever. And again, it looks kind of like maybe Nacogdoches, but I don't think that that's really firm yet, but that's kind of the indication, the leaning right now. So sound like we may head south somewhere, maybe someplace like Tyler Junior College or something where we've been quite a bit. So anyway, we'll let Coach Tisdale sort out all that kind of stuff. And girls are very thrilled to have you on the Coaches Show today, and I've admired all of you as athletes and enjoyed watching you play, and will continue to want to do that for the rest of the school year. So thank you so much for getting up. I know students kind of like to sleep in on Saturday morning, except the coaches get you up sometime for tournaments and schedules and practice and that sort of thing. So thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right, that's our Saturday morning Coaches Show, and appreciate everybody tuning in this morning. I'm Don Julian, and so long, everyone.